What's up, YouTube? Joseph here, and pretty much we're going to the circus with this deck profile today. Thanks to Clash of Rebellion and a ton of ideas between me and my friends, I ended up building a Performer Mage deck. We about two or three of us pretty much have the same build up of the deck, but a lot of our engines are different. Pretty much, it's just a really good rank 4 spam deck. Not really much to say about it. I do love the Performer Mages themselves because they really turn a really aggressive anti-burn once again to this guy right here, Trampoline Magician, and a couple of few more tidbits that they have. It's a really good deck, and I could not wait to showcase it to you guys. Alright, just before we go into that profile, I hope I'm speaking loud enough because I have a fan on because it's really hot, and I hope the noise from it doesn't override me, or I hope you guys can hear. Alright, so with all due and said, let's get into the deck profile. Of course, the Performer Mages start off with their Trick Magician, Trick Clown, I'm sorry. Pretty much, if you guys have ever heard of the deck Clown Blade, this is the main monster that gets the deck going. He can start summon any Performer Mage monster from your graveyard to the field, but his attack and defense becomes 0. So that's not a bad thing, especially when you want to go into your Exceed plays. Unfortunately, you do take 1,000 damage for it, but that does make up once you go into this guy, who I'll explain that whole scenario when I get to the extra deck. Following Trick Clown is Flash Juggler. Juggler pretty much can be discarded from your hand to pretty much make any battle damage that you would take 0 from the next attack, from the next battle. Then on top of that, he can discard himself from your hand to reduce any damage that you would take from a card effect to 0, negate it, and then negate the activation of that card and destroy it. So that's a really good thing. And then on top of that, he can banish himself to add a Performer Mage monster from your deck to your hand, so you can pretty much keep the supply going. But he can't get himself. Next, the last Performer Mage I'm running in the main deck, the Performer Mage Hat Tricker. Hat Tricker can reduce damage that you would take to 0 by placing a Performer Mage counter on himself. Then, if he accumulates 3 counters, his attack and defense will become 3,300. So he makes himself a really hefty attacker and helps you with those really aggressive burn cards. And here's the kicker: if there are 2 or more monsters on board, doesn't matter who controls them or not, you can special summon him from your hand, and that's a really good thing when you want to go for multiple rank 4 material monsters, especially the 3s and ups. All right, so that's my circus. Following my circus, I have pretty much wanted to adapt another engine into it, and I decided why not. I had these laying around: Triple Traptrix Dionea and Triple Traptrix Murmillo. Follow my version of this deck. My friends are running some other different corresponding monsters, which I'll get into in a minute, but I don't have the last monster that they're running, just because I wanted to make sure that our decks were not the same. Ooh, sorry, I just hit the camera. So these monsters right here, they are Arching Eater of Nefariousness and Inari Fire, the familiar monsters. I decided to run just 2 of each because I didn't have the water one, and I wanted to keep our versions very, very separate. But in terms of what they do for the deck, they pretty much help you get into your rank 4s. They do make awesome beaters, and they really do come back a lot, especially with card effects running around back and forth. Alright, so that's the main monsters. To my spells, of course I'm running triple Upstart Goblin to keep the circulation of draw power going. I'm running triple Mystical Sex Typhoon to pretty much take out any annoying spells and traps. I'm running 2 Pot of Dichotomy because, well, Pot Average has been, so why not go to the next best thing? I was going to run Jar Average, but I can't get my hands on any jars at the moment. My one-us are Raigeki, Dark Hole, Foolish, which helps with my Trick Clown, and 1 Book of Moon. For my traps, 2 Mirror Force because it helps with the defense. For my Trap Hole trap cards, I'm running 2 Trap Hole because I can't get to Trap Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmares at the moment. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole and 1 Deep Dark Trap Hole. Then for my last few traps, I'm running 1 Ring of Destruction, 1 Vanity's Emptiness, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, and 1 Torrential Tribute. Alright guys, that is my main deck. Onto my extra. We're going to start, we need to talk about this guy. Performing Mage, Trampoline Magician. Now, as I stated earlier, he's really good when it comes to Trick Clown. Now, we all know Trick Clown's payment for such summoning the monster is taking 1,000 damage. Well, with him on the field, you take no damage from any card if the amount is less than or equal to his attack strength. And that helps you when you are at a very low cost and you want to get some monsters on board. And that's why I say he's a really good... This deck has tons of monsters that are anti-burn. Some of their other Performing Mage monsters have abilities that deal with burn as well. But I just wanted to focus on Trapeze, Clown, Juggler, and Hat. But other than that, he can make monsters swing twice. But those monsters that swing twice are destroyed during the end of the battle phase. So that's pretty much one of those gimmicks to getting any bit of damage you need done. And then if he's ever destroyed, you can still summon a Performing Mage monster from your deck to the field so that you can keep more circulation going. Also, if you can get into your second Trapeze Magician as well. So, those are Trapeze Magicians. Following Trapeze Magician, I'm running 2 Downer Magician, because there's a ton of spellcasters, so I decided to put her in here. This blank is Daigusto Emerald, which I still can't get a hand onto 1. I was trying to get to the Battle Pack 1, but it's really hard to right now at the moment. Of course, I'm running generics of 1 Castel, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Gaga Cowboy. I'm running 1 Cory Gorgon, the Anti-Luminescent Knight, 1 Fairy King Alverdetch, and this is just a tech card because I'm running the trap tricks, and I want to make sure that nothing is really stronger than them, especially when I start swinging with them. 1 Rasputin Berserk to assist Dweller, 1 Heartland Draco. In another version of this deck, I'm running Supply Squad, and Draco comes in handy, especially with him with that card on board. 1 Silence Honor Arc, 1 Ragna Zero, and for Techie, I'm running 1 number 41. I mean 1 number 104 Masquerade. And for those who don't know what Masquerade is, he needs 3 level 4 monsters, which isn't hard because the deck can produce that many monsters on board. Then during either player's battle phase, he can negate monster effects by detaching material from himself, and then negating the activation and inflicting 800 points of damage to my opponent. Then he can just send a card from top of deck, which really doesn't factor in, but I love how he can help deal with monster effects during the battle phase. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. Pretty much, yeah, not much really else to say. So please stay tuned for more. This is Extreme, and I'm signing out. So, till next time.